From all the different genres I have worked in, I will focus on magazine design from among my design activities. What kind of situation I was in and what kind of ideas I was working on when I engaged in magazine design. I would like to explain this while showing a lot of videos. A magazine is a form of publishing media, but it is a booklet full of various information published weekly, monthly, or on a seasonal basis. Today, with plenty of color photographs, pages are developed to give a live feeling. I started designing magazines around 1958 when I decided to become an independent designer soon after graduating from university. I think the music magazine job was the first one. For about 50 years since then, I have continued working with magazine design without interruption. I did not take up many commercial designs. Advertising design is one of the main fields of graphic design, but the purpose of selling product is often pushed to the fore. This is because I felt that I was not familiar with that expression method. The early magazine design I worked on included music, mathematics, literature, and design. Architecture got added soon after. All are magazines that focus on cultural activities. The only exception is the magazine called Advertising. It was a magazine that published marketing and advertising theory put out by Hakuhodo. I accepted it on the request of Takeji Imaizumi, an editorial advisor who asked me to design as I liked. I named it Self-Propagating Design and completed it as a pattern series. By the way, the number of magazines handled in this way is about 2000. The main works are summarized in my collection of works called Shippu Zenrai, Wind and Lightning. Most of them were stored in the library of this university along with other Sugiura works. I think that in near future you will be able to hold it in your hands and look at it yourself. Today's talk will focus on magazines, but I am guessing that there are very few people in this venue who regularly get their hands on a fixed magazine every month or every week. How do you get the latest information now? I think that most people open a personal computer and get information through the internet. Twitter may sometimes carry unexpected personal information. Alternatively, mobile phones are also a powerful source of information. If it is a little late information, then it's TV. You can get away with video. Even newspapers are an information medium which confirm deeper information and organized thoughts. However, when it comes to weekly magazines and magazines, the information arrives quite late. Until a few years ago, I used to see many people reading magazines on the train, but now I rarely see them. Many people face the screen of their mobile phones, looking through the small shining window with a serious look, hoping to get information as soon as possible. However, when I was young, in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, magazines were an important medium equivalent to today's television and computer, internet. Especially important information has many layers of hidden information in addition to the surface information. Magazines were the best medium for informing us of the depth of such information and for deciphering the meaning of the depth. It was a representative media that tried to convey more clearly and more deeply the information that many people waited for. The role of magazines was to stimulate progress, reorganize the social structure of the times, to create new ideas, to open up new fields of science and technology, and to deepen the latest topics that could not be seen from the surface. Writers and editors were enthusiastic about providing fresh topics, readers and designers. The printing staff, paper manufacturers, all were passionate about creating better and innovative magazines. Of course, the enthusiasm of the readers who support the magazine also plays an important role in the prosperity of the magazine and the enhancement of its contents. I would like you to listen to me today while imagining the enthusiastic situation surrounding magazines in the 1960s, 1980s, and 1990s. Here is a chronology of my magazine design. The horizontal direction is the chronological axis and the vertical direction has the magazines I worked on. About 31 magazines names are listed, but I think there are about 40 types. A thick horizontal bar connects each magazine design from the year it was started to the year it ended. For example, if you look vertically at 1990, you will first come across Ginkgo, silver flower. The quarterly magazine, which is published 4 times a year, has the theme of discovering the aesthetic sense that lives in the hearts of Japanese and Asian people, and I have been designing the cover for 40 years. Next, the veracity of rumors, a monthly design that penetrates radical guerrilla journalism from the point of view of anti-establishment. Although it is a monthly publication, I continue to experiment with completely changing the illustrated cover design every 3 months. Continuing with Japanese aesthetics and nature and culture, Japanese Aesthetics is a quarterly magazine aimed at aesthetic and interdisciplinary exploration of Japanese beauty. Nature and Culture is also a quarterly magazine. The cover design has a variety of themes related to Japanese and Asian food, people, and culture. Sumi Special explores the cultural history of ink calligraphy. A unique magazine of archaeology, Dolmen, entertaining educational problems are academia, people, continuing with Japanese language, and open spaces in high schools. Lined up next are quarterly magazines on insect research, insectarium, and Asian culture, which focuses on Asian traditions and contemporary culture. In addition, 3 magazines, Mathematics Seminar, Law Seminar, and Economic Seminar, whose designs have continued since the 1960s, have been added. A total of 13 magazine cover designs were crowded in the office in the 1990s. Of course, other than this, I also did poster and book design, editorial and book jacket design, and exhibition design. Many of these tasks were performed in parallel. If you design 13 magazines every month for a year, in itself it will be a huge number of magazines. I did not do all of this work alone. I had 4 to 5 staff at my office all the time, and they followed my instructions to complete the complicated manuscript. Occasionally, a basic employee would add his own originality and ingenuity in bringing it all together. As you will see, my design has a lot of letters. In addition, many illustrations and diagrams must be placed. I also increased the garbage cut. The staff worked tirelessly to help me with such troublesome work entirely and finished it. Everyone is in their 20s and 30s and in good spirits, completely talented with excellent focus. These young people put their youth into creating these works together. The result are the magazine designs that you will see today. So I had to say, it is our design rather than my design. It is a group of works that can be said to be a joint work of me and the staff. I would firstly like to apprise you that it is packed with such quality and quantity. Now, I would like to get into the main topic.